folks, welcome back to Northwest Bushcraft. I've been incredibly lucky to have received in the post the new DD Hammocks Modular Hammock System. And you guys are going to be the first people, I think, probably in Britain to see the whole thing get put together. So the one I've received is the DD Jungle Hammock Modular System, and it comes in this bag. Now the bag is slightly larger than the standard hammock bags that DD were selling. It's got a carry handle to it, drawstring closure, and it's also got two of these compression type straps inside, so you can cinch the whole thing down quite tight. Inside the kit you get a pair of tree huggers, nylon webbing tree huggers. You also get a pair of climbing grade carabiners. There's also a length of elastic shock cord as well, and there's also a length of guy rope. Now I'll come on to why the guy rope's used later on, but it's quite clever. And there's also these tent pole type poles. Now if you remember the review I did on the 2012 model, you'll notice that in the 2012 model you had a single straight piece that went inside the pockets of the mosquito net, which created that kind of box section for your head. But these are actually arched. It actually creates like a barrel shape inside to make the inside much more spacious. So that's those. And then the hammock itself has got the standard mosquito net, but the mosquito net itself is actually fully detachable. It also got a waterproof base layer in it, and it also comes pre-fitted with whoopee slings as well. So what we'll do is we'll get the whole thing put together, put inside into a tree, and so you can see how the whole thing goes together. Okay, so we've got the hammock set up now. We've put a tree hugger either side with the carabiners, and then we've clipped on the whoopee slings. Now, what's immediately evident when you put this up is this barrel shape here. It's a bit like a boat's keel. It makes the inside of the hammock, rather than being sort of fairly squashed up, it is much more spacious inside because they've maximised the space and the spread of this mosquito net. So it's still got zip, full length zips either side, one on this side, one on that side as well. Now what you'll notice here is this waterproof underlayer here. It does kind of sag down quite a lot, but from the research and development they did, because eventually this waterproof section it's detachable. You can take this off and actually put it over the top, which is what we'll show you next. So it actually becomes like a built-in tarp system for the hammock as well. Okay, so I do want to talk a bit about either end. So what we'll do is we'll kind of have a readjust on camera so you can get a better shot, and we'll talk about the ends as well. Okay, so in regards to the end of the hammock itself, we've actually set this quite high for the purposes of filming, so we can see what's going on. But the hammock itself, where the loop is in the top, it's got this elastic shock cord here, and if you tie it through the top loop and then bring it down and actually tie it onto the end here, that actually helps to support that end a bit as well. But what I really wanted to show you was this. Now I'll untie it because I've actually tied it up for now. So if I untie this, the underside of this sort of waterproof base layer, it's held on by Velcro tabs, and it's completely removable, so that, as I said before, you can actually put it on top. The kind of drawback to that, obviously, you kind of can't please all the people all the time, so you do end up with this kind of flap of material at the bottom here. Likewise with the mosquito net, because this is 100% detachable as well, you've also got this bit of a hole. So what DD Hammocks' kind of suggestion was, obviously pull up, they've got these drawstrings on the mosquito net, and then gather up this end and double it over the end of the mosquito net like this. So that way you're tidying this up, you're also stopping any ingress of insects and midges and what have you coming into the end of the mosquito net. So whip that around a couple of times, maybe sort of, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches, 10 centimetres, something like that, past the end. Oops. Tie a bow in it, and there we go. So now the mosquito net is completely encased in there, midges aren't going to go in, and this end's now been completely tidied up as well. Okay, so another one of the key features on this modular hammock system is actually inside. Now the traditionalists have used DD hammocks before. Obviously they've got these 4 pockets either side, so you can stick a book in there, a torch or whatever you want. or mobile phone even. So you've got one of those in each corner, so there's 4 of those. But one of the new things they've got is actually this sliding pocket that's inside. If I can brace that on my head a bit, there we go. Now this sliding pocket goes inside, and it's actually got three compartments in it. I'm actually the wrong way around for it now, but it's got 3 compartments inside. Put your sort of bits and bobs in there, glasses, phone, torch, book, whatever you want to do. And so that will actually slide up and down along a guy line that's sort of built in inside. Now that all comes with the system as well. Zip it back up. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're actually going to take off this bottom layer and actually show you with a built-in tarp system as well. Okay? Okay, so what we've done now is we've taken off the waterproof underlayer because it's detachable and it's held on by Velcro points all around the base. Taken that off, put it over the top, and you've got these loops here. These then just fasten underneath that sort of tent pole here. Those go underneath like that. They're held firmly in place, and then you've got a fully enclosed waterproof system now. So you've got hammock and tarp all built into one. You don't need to have an additional tarp. And obviously with still having the tent poles in, they're going to keep that sort of rigid, sort of barrel-like shape over the top. And what we've done here on this end is these sort of cinch cords that are in the end of the waterproof layer, we've actually tied that off to a tree. And if you wanted to as well, a bit of belt and braces, you've also got a loop here that's built into the sheet. You can maybe tie that off up to the tree as well to give you a complete kind of enclosed system. Okay, so that's it. That's a modular DD hammock system. I think it's quite clever. It's a bit tricky to set up sort of first time round. Like I said, I've got the 2012 frontline hammock, and absolutely superb, and I've been using it for a long time, so I'm used to it, and I'm used to how it gets set up. I think the first few times you go out with this, you may need to practice it for sure, you know, practice it in the back garden if you can, but on the whole I think it's an absolutely superb system. So what I'm going to do, we're going to take this off now and then show it in a few other configurations as well for you. Okay, so before we come on to talking about the modular system on the floor and the hammock configuration, just thought I'd share another one of the key features of this system. And I said it is modular. The whole thing about this is you can take and leave bits as and how you see fit. Now this is the underlayer, the sort of waterproof layer that goes underneath the hammock, or it goes on the floor when you're using it as a bivvy configuration, and it folds up pretty small. And I said this is one of those things you could just grab it if you're not going to go camping for the day and you just want to, there's maybe a chance of rain. I mean, that's it, you know, it's small enough. We all wear combats. If you're going to take a day pack out with you, folds up fairly small, completely detachable from the main unit, comes with guy ropes included, strap it out in between a couple of trees, and so you can poke this into the side pocket of a small day sack, or we all wear combat trousers, stick it in the side pocket there, so you've got an emergency shelter as well. Okay, so now we'll spend a bit of time talking about the bivvy bag configuration for the hammock system. Okay folks, so we've now put the waterproof base layer back on again, and we put it onto the floor so it's like in a bivvy configuration. So all we've done is that elastic shock cord that was kind of keeping it separated when it was in a hammock. All we've done is just put a tent peg or a stick either side of that, pulled it out so it's taut, and obviously these will still keep the mosquito net up and away from your face and your feet down that end as well. So you've still got access to that sliding pocket that's inside too. All in all, I think it's a really good system. I think you can kind of, the beauty of it is you can take bits or keep bits however suits you. You don't have to take the whole thing. If you're in summertime, obviously you're going to need your mosquito net, so you'll take that. But in wintertime, you don't really need the mosquito net, and you can completely remove it, so you don't need to take it with you. So it's a bit less weight than that. In terms of sort of technical specifications, it's 2.7 meters long, 1.4 meters wide, and it weighs 1800 grams. It's sort of distributed amongst the bits. And as I said, you can, because it's a modular system, you can kind of take and leave bits as and when you see fit. Like I said, in wintertime you don't need a mosquito net, so you can leave that. In summertime, if you're going to be in a hammock, do you need to have a waterproof underlayer on you? Probably not, so you can remove that as well. So we've got it here on the floor. In terms of putting it together, as I said before, it's not the easiest thing the first time we do it. It's the first time today we've kind of had a bit of a go with it. It takes a bit of getting used to, but it's good fun. You know, I think it's a really clever system. It's it can be all things to all people really. You don't need to have an additional tarp with you either. When it's on the floor, obviously you'll notice this isn't waterproof, so I think DD Hammocks are actually going to sell the waterproof underlay as an optional extra as well, so you can actually buy a second one. So if you are going to go bivvy camping, you can actually you've got the ordinary waterproof layer underneath, and then you can put the top one over the top if you want. If not, if you've already got one of the DD Hammocks tarps, then great, that's absolutely fine. In terms of price, I think it's going to be marketed, I think it's £109, which, when you consider that the ordinary tarp, you're sort of looking at £45–50, and then you've got the versatility of it. You know, you can take and leave bits as and when you see fit. You perhaps don't need to buy a tarp if you're just going to be in a hammock, if you want to put that, the under sort of waterproof layer on top of it as well, so you may not need to buy a tarp. You've also got the tree huggers, the carabiners, you've also got the whoopee slings already attached. I mean, that in itself, that's £28 right there. So I think from speaking to Nick down at DD Hammocks, the first sort of week, maybe 2 weeks, it's going to be on sale, and it's due for release beginning of July. And the first maybe week or two it's going to be on release, they are going to be looking at putting out a bit of a discounted price for the first few ones that go out. So if you do like it, I'd probably get in there and get one soon and save a bit of money. In terms of recommendations or observations on it, as I said, take a bit of time getting used to it, but the one thing that I would do that was evident when we were putting it into the bivvy configuration was down on these tabs down here. What I would like to see, and you know, we're all bushcrafters, we do like to modify things. Obviously it's got an eyelet for this sort of ridge pole line here. I'd also like to maybe see another eyelet put into this tab here, so you can maybe put a tent peg into it, but it's not the end of the world by any means, and to be honest, if that's the worst thing you can find wrong with it, then it is a really, really good system. So that's the DD Hammocks Jungle Hammock Modular System. Hope you've enjoyed the review, and come back and join us again soon. Take care for now, bye bye. Okay, so that's the whole system packed away. You said it breaks down to fairly small size, convenient carry handle, a couple of compression straps, and yeah, 1.8 kilos in weight. The only thing I didn't say, that I forgot, I've just realised, is when the waterproof tarp is over the top, there's also some, I think it's 3 meters of guy line has actually been included as well, so if you did want to, you could tie a loop onto the waterproof tarp as well and actually guy it down. Now, one of the other things that DD Hammocks are quite keen for people to know is that due to the kind of barrel nature of the top of the tarp, sorry, the top of the hammock rather, sorry, is that when you first put it up, it does have a habit of trying to flip itself over. Now, once you've tied on that elastic cord and actually pulled out the barrels, or you put maybe a sleeping bag inside it, it doesn't do that at all. So you know, you are going to be perfectly safe. It's just when it first goes up, it does have a habit of trying to roll around, and it's purely just due to the weight of those kind of arched tent poles. But yeah, once it's tied up, it's perfectly safe, nice and safe and secure to get into. So okay, hope you've enjoyed the review. So go down to, I'll put a link to DD Hammocks website underneath the description. So thanks so much indeed. All it remains to say is a big thank you to Danny Reid from Northwest, from Journey into Bushcraft, for doing all the filming for me and trying to make me look good. So thanks a lot, take care, see you later.